Last night, your brain built an entire world, a city that doesn't exist, a conversation with someone who's been dead for years, a version of your childhood home with one extra room. Then you woke up and it was gone. You've probably never asked why this happens every single night. But the real answer is far stranger than your brain is just resting. Here's what's actually going on while you sleep. For most of the 20th century, the leading theory came from Sigmund Freud, who argued dreams were disguised wishes, hidden desires your conscious mind wouldn't allow in daylight. It was a compelling story. It also turned out to be almost impossible to test. Modern sleep science has moved in a very different direction. Start with the brain itself. During REM sleep, the stage where most vivid dreaming happens, your brain is almost as active as when you're awake. Neuroscientist Allan Hobson spent decades studying this and proposed something called activation synthesis theory. The idea is simple. Your brainstem fires off random electrical signals through the night. Your cortex, the part responsible for meaning and story, takes those signals and does what it always does. It tries to make sense of them. A dream, in this view, isn't a hidden message. It's your brain narrating static. But that's not the whole picture either, because dreams aren't actually random. They follow patterns. Most people dream about falling, being chased, showing up unprepared for something important. Why would meaningless static repeat the same themes across almost every culture on Earth? This is where things get genuinely interesting. Finnish researcher Antti Revonsuo proposed what's now called the threat simulation theory. His argument is that dreaming evolved as a kind of nighttime rehearsal space, a low-stakes flight simulator for danger. If your ancestors dreamed about being chased by a predator, their brain was quietly practicing the exact neural pathways needed to survive being chased by an actual one. You weren't just watching a random movie. You were training. That would explain why dreams involving threat and anxiety are so universal. It's harder to explain why you also dream about flying, or your teeth falling out, or showing up to an exam you never studied for. This is where sleep researcher Rosalind Cartwright's work becomes useful. She spent years studying dreams in people going through emotional upheaval, especially divorce, and found dreaming often works like overnight therapy. Your brain replays emotionally loaded material, not to hide it from you but to process it while the volume is turned down. Fear without immediate danger, grief without the person actually being gone. It's easier to sit with a hard emotion in a dream than in your actual life, because a dream can't really hurt you. There's also a simpler explanation running underneath all of this. Sleep is when your brain does its housekeeping. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker has spent his career showing that memory consolidation happens heavily during sleep, particularly REM sleep. Your brain is sorting the day's experiences, deciding what to keep, what to file away, and what to quietly discard. Dreaming may simply be what that sorting process looks like from the inside, not a message, not a rehearsal, a side effect of a filing system working in the dark. So which theory is correct? Probably some uncomfortable mix of all three. Random neural noise, threat rehearsal, emotional processing, and memory sorting are not mutually exclusive. Your brain might be doing all of it simultaneously every single night and simply handing you a story afterward because a story is easier for you to hold on to than raw data. Here's the part worth sitting with. You will spend roughly 6 years of your life dreaming. 6 years inside a theater, built entirely by your own mind, showing you films you will mostly forget by breakfast. Maybe the point was never for you to remember them. Last night, your brain built an entire world again. And somewhere underneath the strangeness of it, it was working exactly as it should.